Okay, so I've just watched the first episode of Wonder Man, and it looks like both of them are going to have to develop a new understanding. Simon, in order to get the role, he's going to have to stop being such a pain in the ass. I mean, it's all well that he wants to concentrate on subtext and a backstory because, to a certain extent, you need to know the person's motivations. It's hard to read the words on the page if you don't have an angle. So, yes, to some extent, but to nitpick every freaking detail. And of course, he kept doing that to death to the point that they decided to drop this episode. Now, whether they're actually going to drop the episode or that was just, a ruse to get rid of Simon Williams. Simply because, like his agent said, he is a freaking pain in the ass. She does believe in him, she thinks he's talented, but he's just, like Trevor said, too much in his head. So, now we do find out that he already has powers, and it turns out Damage Control, because I've seen the trailers, Damage Control knows that he has powers. So, he is, I'm still unsure whether he knows he has powers. Because, Damage Control says he's unstable and he's a threat to humanity, blah, 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 blah. Of course, we know to not trust Damage Control as far as we can throw them. However, we don't know if he even knows he has powers, let alone has control over his powers. So it's possible he doesn't. I mean, you saw when he was at his sink, you saw his cup starting to vibrate. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like he has control. That he has to remain calm. Maybe that's why he does the exercises he does. To remain calm because he knows about his powers. And he is trying to keep them under control. So maybe he does know. He did sign an NDA claiming he doesn't have superpowers. So that might end up biting him in the butt. Turns out he's a total jerk. He, not only did he lose his acting gig on American Horror Story, but he, walks in on his agent while she's in a meeting and just starts talking to her like it's the most normal thing in the world, simply because he found out that from Trevor Slattery that they're doing Wonder Man, which we find out later was all a ruse. Trevor was there simply because he was supposed to make contact with Simon. And he's made 3 of them so far. Now, based on the trailers I've seen, obviously he softens to Simon and realizes that Damage Control is not the organization that he thought that they were. But what can you expect from someone who pretends to be the Mandarin, completely unaware of who the Mandarin is? Like one of the girls who were part of the test for Wonder Man said, I think he used to be a terrorist. Simply because he is that freaking stupid. And you would think that after his run-in with the Mandarin, run-in with Shang-Chi, that he would, I don't know, be a better judge of character. Or maybe that's why he's working for Damage Control. Because he is scared about superpowered people now because of what he's seen. Um, so we'll find out next episode, how this continues. If and when Simon finds out about Trevor's working with damage control, or maybe, finding out, Von Kovacs and whomever else works for him on the set, finding out that Simon Williams actually has powers. Which it sounds like Von Kovacs, even though there was some sort of NDA to, prevent anyone from superpowers to be part of the Wonder Man. It's entirely possible that Von Kovacs will love the fact that he has powers. Now, because, how can you be more authentic to a character than to have said powers of the character? Now, what I would love to know is, how did he get these powers? Are they going to make him a mutant? Obviously that would make it completely different from the comics, but are they going to make him a mutant? Or how are they going to explain? Are we going to see how he got his powers? Maybe that's why he loves that movie so much. Because he has the same or similar powers to Wonder Man. So that's a possibility. Does his father know? Did his father know? We don't know if the father is still in the picture, if he's alive. We know nothing. But all we know is that Simon Williams is getting a backstory way too seriously. It would make sense if the camera is going to pan to, say, the book that he's putting away. If the camera pans on that, and it's that type of a show, not an episodic show, but a show like, a show part of a greater universe like the MCU or whatever, then obviously people are going to look for Easter eggs in everything you do. In a regular show, if they're not going to show the name of a book, or if they're going to have a sly reference, they're going to put something in the set for that Easter egg to mean something. That is not necessarily for the actor to say, oh, maybe I should do this. So yeah, big pain in the ass. So far, I'm not liking Simon Williams. Trevor, poor Trevor, he's always on the wrong side. So it's entirely possible that he will, move over and realize that, oh, you're not the guy that they say you are. Because, again, damage control. Let's see, what else did I want to mention about this episode? It looks like all the episodes are going to be around half an hour. Which kind of sucks, but, this is also a throwaway series. Let's see if there's anything else. Obviously, there has to be some sort of a foil. There cannot be just him trying to become a better actor. Now, we have damage control, so maybe that's going to be the lone foil. But if Ms. Marvel taught us anything, there's two. There's damage control, and there's somebody else. So the question is, who is that somebody else? Now, we have 7 more episodes, so if everyone is half an hour, we have what, 3.5 hours worth of content yet left? So it'll be interesting to see how they fill it up. Let's see if there's anything else I want to mention about this show. I think I've covered everything I wanted to this episode because, again, it's about half an hour. So, and I'm very curious if there's going to be a post-credit scene because shows like this usually do. But it's under the Spotlight label, so maybe this one won't. Who knows? Anyway, I believe that is all I have for this episode. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.